So I don't know why my video cut out, but I'm just gonna carry right on and show you. Like I mentioned in the previous shorter broadcast, the fog is rolling in here, and yes, we've got no toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. The reality is there's up and down. Imagine if this thing were to be upside down. There would be no magical force holding the stuff in place. There's up and there's down. Looks like we've got an osprey on the sign over there. Cool. It was sunny on my drone and not so sunny anymore. Not here anyway. The coastal regions are one of the, it's a wonderful place to be because I get to show you what this is like. Now, we're at high tide right now. To put this in perspective, high tide at a different time of the month will be a couple feet taller. That's why we've got all this marsh grass laid down here. When we had Hurricane Matthew, another modified storm, all of our weather is being modified. Okay, Hurricane Matthew put water over the top of the railing here. Somebody should be held accountable for flooding people out and drowning them and starving them out by drought. Okay, and ultimately they will pay. Those bastards will pay. I believe they're fallen angel, demon inhabited individuals that are and unknowing participants of this satanic deception. And part of that is the godless cosmic Big Bang of the global deception. The Jesuits came up with it. You can look at it on my profile. I get there's a gentleman, or maybe an artificial intelligence chatbot, hassling me on my earlier broadcast on Facebook converted to a YouTube video. That's fine. I'll leave it up for a while. His comments, I'll just add my my links to show my proof. You can look at that if you care to. Remember, proof is really for only those who want the truth. People that are interested in being deceived aren't going to like proof that contradicts what they want to believe. It's much foggier right over in that direction. We wouldn't have fog like this if the earth were spinning, wobbling, and gyrating over 1,000 miles an hour rotation and hurling through space. Just would not happen. So the building on the right, we can barely see. The building on the left, we can see a lot better. I'm going to take us up maybe for a little ride and show you what this looks like around here. Good afternoon.
How are you?
Doing great, thanks. Bye. So one of the things I'd like to draw your attention to as well, there are breaks in the reflection because now we've got a breeze coming at us from the southeast, which is over there. From this very location, I've got videos that are up to 12 hours long. Just about 12 hours long, with an audio Bible merged with the beauty of creation, the tidal activity. Notice the symmetry of the reflection, the clouds above and below. That's why I came out this way. I knew it was going to be high tide and we had some pretty clouds. However, when the fog rolls in like it has, that changes it all. But you could go to my my photo album on Facebook and see the beauty of this with a tapestry of color and light that's spectacular. Water that's not moving at all, not even a visible ripple. That takes a lot of wind not disturbing the surface of the water, or current. There's a little bit of time right around high tide that happens, and it's beautiful. Here's my card if you ever want to reach out. Feel free to call anytime.
Thank you.
Thanks. This is a Facebook broadcast that'll be turned to a YouTube, and it'll be up there a little bit later on. You might enjoy my content.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
And what are your names?
Dennis and Tanya.
Dennis and Tanya. Good to see y'all.
Good to see you.
Thank you. So right in the view there, we can see the flat water and the reflection there. That's the way that is. Now, I've done live broadcasts where high tide would be up to the middle of those stairs. That's how precision this all is. We typically have a tidal activity between 4 and 6 feet. I've got some out at the point where I've videoed up to a 7-foot tide. My YouTube Truth playlist is an audio Bible showing the beauty and majesty of creation with an audio Bible merged to it. My liked video playlist is a collection of documentaries, some that I produced, and I'm documenting things. Okay, so that it isn't all the fancy editing and all that. I'll just go live and comment on some of the things that I'm wanting to expose. I'll just do that because then I can title that video any name that I want to give it, and then that puts it in a reservoir of content. Like, for example, NASA lies. They do. They're lying. I ain't buying. But it's not just NASA lies. I was lied to about Santa Claus. My whole family supported that deception. Teachers, weather presenters, news presenters, all of that. Is it an innocent lie? No, it's a lie. It's a lie, and it involved people that I trusted to give me accurate information. Sound familiar? We're not talking about, the decision I'm talking about isn't do I want paper or plastic. It's where am I going to spend forever and why am I going to do that? Why will I be, we're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. Where will you spend eternity? You could argue with me about me being wrong and how right you are, or you could examine the truth, seek the truth with all your heart. The word says perpetually to everybody, they refused to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. So, what is the truth? Will you recognize it? You might think, I don't need to go to YouTube Truth. I'll just type into YouTube what I want to learn about. If you want to learn how to macrame or something like that, you may do really well finding what you're looking for. I'm going to pull this out just a moment here. But if you're looking for the truth on issues like the shape of the earth, this topic is being censored. Artificial intelligence is censoring not everybody. Who knows when that'll happen to me, if that'll happen to me in the YouTube Truth channel. That's why I'm not kidding when I said, if you want to have a channel you call YouTube Truth, that would be fine by me. I'd like to see a bunch of people wanting to share the truth on their channel. And what? A lot of us do. I would say I'm preaching to the choir, not necessarily. There's a lot of haters out there, and they will hate. Why do they do that? Are they getting paid to do that? Are they defending some kind of decadent lifestyle? Hey, you know what? If this whole Jesus and Bible thing isn't real, yeah, do what you want. Do what you please. Eat, drink, be merry, because you're just going to die anyway and be worm food, right? Not so. I'll tell you what. I thought I was born again until I actually was. There's a new sheriff in town. He kicked out all the bad habits that I had. There's a power that lives in and through me I didn't have I didn't have access to directly at the time before. So when I looked in the mirror and I saw an active drug addict and alcoholic, even though I worked at a Christian ministry, volunteered at a mega church, was asked to lead Bible studies for men's retreats. Hello, I wasn't just sitting on the edge. We homeschooled our sons. I did that. So what I'm going to show you here, and none of that activity meant I was actually born again. That's my point. So now that I've got a good amount of current coming in here, we can see the sun is going to set over there. It's a different path now. It's not a random thing. It's extremely precision. What I'm looking for is a couple of whirlpools here. I'm not seeing them yet. There they are. Check this out. It's a thing of beauty. Okay, for you people that argue that toilet water spins in opposite directions, I want you to clearly pay attention and see we've got whirlpools spinning side by side, going in opposite directions right next to one another. It has to do with the configuration of the shape of the basin, and these actually cause the other one to rotate like that. That's part of the equation. It's fluid dynamics. There are some minnows swimming out there, and then there are some caught in the whirlpool. I don't know if they're going to make it. I don't know. These are extremely sharp. They're clams. Okay, so there you go. So if your belief in the shape of the earth is contingent on toilet water and NASA releases, you got some studying to do if you want to know the truth. How about that? How about that? The water is demonstrably flat. There we've got the cloud above and on the water, right in the middle. The symmetry of the reflections of the buildings is perfect. It's not almost perfect. There's not a little hump to the water. It's flat. And that's that, whether you like it or not. According to Bill Nye, change your plumbing and padding and change your gender. No, Bill Nye, the science guy, you're a fraud. You're promoting a false religion of scientists. Bastards, fallen angels, could be. I don't know. Bill might be born again one day. I wouldn't think that's his case now. Okay, that's right where we were out on the walk out there. People are basing their eternity on false information. Flat water, reflections. The reflections are a big clue. So now we've got, what'll happen is this will happen for a while and then it'll flip around and come back out. I'll take us out to the pier so you can see what it looks like there. Notice the symmetry of the reflections. That's part of the empirical evidence. Empirical meaning it's reality, folks. It's reality. Reality exposes the global deception, the global lie. NASA lies, Santa lies, Satan lies. And I'm telling. All right. Yeah, I did slip. I didn't actually fall down, but I was sliding on this stuff. I've got to go over on the rocks. The real little rocks, not so good. So I know it's a little weird, but I can put the sun and the reflection together. we can see the waves just a little bit. That's coming from the increased height right there. Can a directed energy weapon cause an earthquake? I believe so. Can it cause a power outage? Absolutely. So can artificial intelligence. So with the fires in California, you can argue about the shape of the earth till the cows come home. We don't need a forest to have a fire like they had in California. That could happen right here at any time. We could have an interruption in our power supply anytime. We don't need Kim Jong-un to hit the launch button and hit us with an EMP. AI can do it right now. Isn't that special? So you can have a garbage can, a Faraday cage, an improvised Faraday cage you put your cell phone in. Good luck with that. What happens when you don't have any power to operate it? Well, what we have temporarily is most of these buildings here have cell phone repeat, or a lot of them have generators, and then there's a lot of them that have cell towers in them or near them. This is Ocean Drive in Cherry Grove. We can see the bottom of the building, the top, not so much. That's how thick the fog is on the coast. The temperature variance, the temperature differential, changes the volume of water. So warmer water is less dense and floats. Okay, we've got a traffic issue here. Okay, here we go. I can't say I've ever seen it quite like that before. Oh, that was nice. And that was nice. A lot of friendly people on vacation. Still, we get people in a hurry, though. That happens too. We got surfers out here today. Pretty cool. Be able to show them to you. Here we've got a little water seeking its level. Looks like one of our local pets, local dogs. Oh, nice shot. We've got a photographer down there, and they both caught the wave at the same time. That was pretty cool. So visibility is less than 1/4 of a mile down low here. I've got some videos I posted where the sun is very easy to see how small it is and local it is. Hey, I saw you got them both riding at the same time, huh?
Oh, I did. No, they were too far apart.
Oh, okay. It'll be turned onto my YouTube channel, Truth. Here's my Facebook page. You can find it there. My channel used to be called Eternal Perspective. Now I call it YouTube Truth. You might enjoy it. Thanks for asking. So we just had high tide, and look at where the tide was. It did swash up to here. We can see that. But when we had Hurricane Matthew, it went way up to the bottom of the rafters there. Some water actually got in the bait shop in that from the big waves. So like Hurricane Florence gave us example of weather modification right here. And so I saw videos and shared them where the buoys out in the ocean were registering like 20 knots, and the Weather Channel was saying in that area there was 150 knot wind, which was accurate. Who was right? I don't know. How could I possibly know? And that's part of what's going on here is people are basing their decisions on information that's corrupt, that's not accurate. So to be clear, if you were deceived, how would you know? How could you know if you were deceived? How would you get out of that? I know that if I go under there too much, I'll have a dead spot for my reception and I'll lose my broadcast. It's a little bit different in the fog. It almost seems to be better. Normally, where I just walked over to, I would have lost the broadcast. I've even had in and out right here in the parking lot. So this is the Prince Resort in Cherry Grove, and there are oceanfront condos available. You can just call us here if you like. So we've got the little swimming pool here, the big swimming pool out there covering the face of the stationary Earth. Are you open to that? Are you open to that information? Are you open to the truth? This will be so packed in the summer. This is a quieter season, and we'll have a lot of empty nesters and Canadians and people from all over the world, actually. So our day-to-day life experience shows the impossibility of the globe. There's not a water falling in an opposite direction to this. It goes up and it comes down. That's about 35 gallons a minute right there. Good afternoon. So, are you open to the truth? New floor. We just got it put in. Hey guys. There we got some shark teeth found locally here. Those were probably pumped up from the bottom of the ocean out here. Good to see y'all. Hey, those floors look great, man. That was Michael. He's pretty hip to knowing the truth about a lot of this stuff that I talk about. There are quite a few people that are. I'll just be real vocal about it, and I'll use digital worldwide portable communications instantaneously to reach out and touch some people and really piss some people off. Yeah, I said the P word. How about that? Okay, so there's the Myrtle Beach skyline. See it? Well, I've got video where you can see it. Not going to see it now. Not with the all the moisture. The temperature variance that I mentioned in the hydrologic cycle. Whoa, hey there. The water cycle of the world is basically like this. We've got the evaporation, condensation, and precipitation, and the change of state. So the temperature variant changes the volume, the temperature difference. So when the water gets warmer, it gets less dense and it's more volume. I know I said it earlier. I want to kind of explain why I said it again. We've got about 2 feet less water higher. It's 2 feet lower on a normal summer high tide. Why is that? Where's all that water? Does it expand and contract? Like I mentioned earlier, I've been heating up the water. My highly purified carbon filtered reverse osmosis water I'm bathing in. It's a detox. I want to pull the toxins out of my body and put high powered oxygen and hydrogen in my body along with healthy nutrients. And I listen to God's word a lot. And I desire to please and obey him by his power living in and through me. That being said, I heat up a lot of water on the stove and I move it. I move a lot of water. About 70 gallons a day. Little local sun. It's what we've got. We don't have a surfer upside down compared to this one. Just let that sink in. That's why I showed beams. From this angle, it's going to look a lot different. If you scroll through my timeline, I've got the camera about 30 feet off the water right now. When I'm right on the level of the tops of the waves, like sitting down on the beach where that photographer is, it looks a lot different. So I call them memes when a meme isn't enough. You know, and that I think is part of our outlet as truth tellers is to use, in some cases, to use a meme. There are people that are proud and deceived, right? So you show me somebody who's proud, and I'll show you somebody, let me push this up. You show me somebody who's proud, and I'll show you somebody who's easily deceived. The sun right there, she's not a 93 million miles away. They're lying about that. Okay, so I bought the Santa Claus lie. Whoops. Oh, that is funny. Here's a puppy taking a man for a walk. That is so funny. It was interesting. There, he's trying to. That is so classic. Now imagine that. A little puppy pulling a full-size man around. And the reason why I mention that is that's kind of what people are wanting to do to God. They say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And he's saying, no, I've got a different plan for your life. That's where he intervened in my situation. I was hopelessly addicted to drugs and alcohol, and he set me free. The reason why I was struggling so much is I wasn't born again yet. That's why. Hey, y'all. So when he gave me his Holy Spirit and new life in him, he gave me a power that I didn't previously have. Now I've zoomed in really tight with the P1000 earlier today. No big fireball shooting off of that. It's a little light in the sky, just as the Bible says. The greater light ruling the day and the lesser light ruling. You can look at the Tides Near Me app and see that the tidal activity is very reliable and consistent, and so are the phases of the moon, and they project them with extreme accuracy. I verified that here. I can't verify it all over the world, I would have to trust somebody to give me accurate information. If somebody from Australia, my friend Joe McLeod, if she were to say, yep, it's high tide here, they nailed it, great. So the point is you would have to trust your source of information, because NASA has been proven liars and deceivers. They're not trustworthy. Why would I get my information? The person hating on my earlier broadcast out there, flat Earth deception in under 5 minutes. Eric Dubé and allegedly Dave were on the video. Did a great job with that. He's wanting me to explain the eclipses. My answer was hashtag NASA lies. They're giving us explanations that don't match up with it. What happens? There are celestial bodies that I'm unaware of, I'm sure of. I don't know all the names of the stars and what's up in the sky. I can tell you that on the last year eclipse, the great eclipse, the moon wasn't where it was supposed to be to do what we saw happen to the sun. I'm not the only one that noticed that. There's a lot of videos on it. The lunar and solar eclipses, you can check that out. If you want to see the channel, I know you were interested, or it looked like you were.
Yeah.
The name now of the channel is Truth, so you could see it on my Facebook page.
Cool.
Thanks for reaching out. Hope you have a good one. What's your name? Andrew?
Andrew.
Nice to meet you, Andrew. Good to see you. So that's all part of the dynamic too. They'll very likely be going to check out the video. And that's more of the dynamic. I'm not going out flat smacking people. What I'll do is I'll wear a shirt. Let me flip it around so you can see it. I will tell people we didn't go to the moon. We don't live on a globe, and we still got the monkeys. I know that the terminology around, with even a lot of my friends talk about flat smacking. It's more of I'm wanting to introduce people to more than the shape of the earth. It's that we're being lied to on epic proportions. And I want people to be aware that eternity is a long time to regret. So you got to make sure you get this right. So here we've got blue skies up there, right above this little canopy of fog. Imagine what that's like. The building I could see on the beach earlier, can barely see it. That's why I've been heard saying, do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? We live on a stationary earth. So for those of you who think, well, I've heard Robert say all this stuff before, and you may be having it, maybe that you don't want to listen to it all. That won't even hurt my feelings. Part of the dynamic is showing you the interaction with people. Maybe you don't want to wear a shirt with your YouTube channel name on it, but you can share someone who does if you like that, or you can add to your own liked videos. Here's what I want you to think about. This morning when I was out at the point doing some recording with the P1000, I opened up my iPhone and I saw that A Plain Truth 2 posted a video. A Plain Truth 1 got taken down. That's where a lot of my videos disappeared from, because they were reporting on some things that AI wanted them to shut up about. Okay? Artificial intelligence. When I saw the video in under 5 minutes and I liked it and shared it with my liked video, added it to my liked video playlist, it was shared thousands of times like that. Like that. Because I've been busy. I've spent years including my liked videos on my photos, on occurrences all over the place. So it's there. What will people do when they see it? Isn't that sweet? We got some hand holding going on. That's nice. When people invest in a vacation to come here, and some locals probably hold hands too. That can happen. But that's part of the deal. The water is reflective. People are reflective off of the water. I show a lot of pretty reflections. And also people are reflective on their lives, their past, present, future. This is a timeless beauty out here, the creation. That's why I merged it with an audio Bible. I've got some videos that I've done that are almost 12 hours long were from this pier. And some of the weather coming in was pretty severe, like 35-mile-an-hour winds and rain. I was hunkered down up in the cupola there, or that canopy. The pier is just under 1,000 feet. The thing that I want to draw your attention to with the size of the sun and the moon, I did a moon video this morning too. To do the moon video, I was up at like 2:30 in the morning to get ready, to be ready to do this. That's how I roll. You can watch my digital profile. It's amazing. I couldn't do it in my own strength. What I want to point out to you is that when I zoom in on the moon or the sun full on, they're about the same size. And I know that Richie from Boston did some of this and talked about it as well. I noticed it years ago that I could zoom in on a sandpiper on the beach that's maybe a quarter of a mile away, and he would fill my whole viewfinder. And then when I would zoom in on the sun or the moon with a full zoom, I noticed I would need about 7 viewfinders to put the whole image in there. In other words, like 7 pictures of the moon at 83 times zoom to have the whole moon in the view with a P1000 or a P900. P900 is an 83 times zoom. P1000 is 125 times zoom. It's an amazing amount of magnification. And that is part of the exercise that I've been doing to see this world in a different perspective and share it with others. The acoustics really change with the fog too. I'm gonna walk all the way out. A couple days ago, I was out here. I took photos of a Coast Guard cutter that was out there, and then a smaller vessel. And the morning of that same day, there was a Coast Guard plane. He's in my video. I zoomed in on him. Excuse me. Where's the sun? A little bit of fog. Can't see through it. That's why it's not daylight everywhere in on the earth. Is because the sun can only shine through so many clouds. That was the thing that is somewhat of the spoiler alert I want to give you about. It's not a spoiler alert. I want to explain it. If you watch the videos that I shot this morning, by the way, without any commentary, I just wanted to let the imagery communicate what I wanted you to see, is that there were little layers of clouds going in front of the sun. I could see it happening right in front of me. With just the right amount, I could see the size of the sun really crisp and clear with no big fire plumes. Sorry about that. Shooting off of there. Okay. It's kind of interesting. So you can see that the relationship between the magnification of the different objects. whether it's an airplane flying over a level plain, watching the path of the jet trail or chemtrail, if you want to call it that, geoengineering. That's all happening. We've got fully autonomous, weaponed up aircraft that don't need a pilot to land on an aircraft carrier. Arguably one of the most difficult